So Willett is obviously one of my favorites. It's one of the first ryes that I drank, which makes me kind of a spoiled brat. Thanks, Mike. And with Mike being the guy who got me into rye and bourbon and kind of even knowing what the difference was, you know, when I was before Mike, when I was younger, it was just whiskey that I drank and I didn't know there was levels to it. So I am very biased towards Willett. However, it's a good bias because it is, I mean, you know, it's one of the best. You know, that's how it is. So as we go to compare things, I always like to get the smell first and kind of get my palate going for it. I'm kind of a bourbon snob, so I like to really get my nose in it and not just smell through my nose, but actually put my nose in it and open my mouth and breathe through my mouth. Breathe in through your mouth, and you'll actually get some of those deeper notes and everything before you actually take the taste. And then,
so what's it smell like?
So what are you getting from Mike?
A little bit tobacco-ish, which I really like in a bourbon. You get some apricot, possibly a little bit of molasses.
See, I was gonna say molasses right off the bat. I think I always pick up on the sweeter tones. I got kind of a sweet tooth myself, but yeah, I always pick up on the sweetness of Willett right away, which is not what you'd expect out of an over 100 proof liquor.
Yeah, you just forget about the first sip because you're basically cleansing your palate, unless you have something in between.
So with wines, it's sometimes like chocolate or a cracker. Like, what would you have in between?
Probably pretty much the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, the first sip, like if you go to a tasting somewhere, like say you're gonna do a moonshine or a whiskey or something like that, if they have something very, very high proof, they're gonna give you that first because that's gonna get you used to that level of alcohol, that burn out of the way, and then you can get all the flavors. So, if, like, for example, when we were in Gatlinburg and we went to Sugarland's Distillery and did the moonshine tour, the White Lightning was first, and then all the flavors were after that because you would not taste all the flavor if you got that burn from the beginning. So they just give you the straight burn first, then you get the flavors. Well, we're not going to drink something very, very high proof and then switch to this. We want to use this for itself. So we drink the first sip, blow it out slowly. Okay, cool. You get all those flavors and all those aromas in your mouth. Then you get the second sip. That's when you really get hit with the flavor.
So let's taste it. Cheers. I kind of let that one wash through, although it does taste extremely good. And then give it a taste. So you can probably tell it's extremely good. I have not had Willett in a while, the 4-year. With a rye, what you're going to get with the higher proof, I tend to think of it, for me, it's like how many times do you kind of go up and down that roller coaster? So this brings you in and you run up and then you come down, smooths out, and then it comes up again and then it smooths out again. And then it comes up on a finish and it is extremely spicy and good at the end. So that's one of the things I look at with, especially with a rye, is how many times does it run up and come down. And so that's the thing. Let's see what you think.
I'm gonna try it. First time I've ever had it. So
Well, make sure it's your second sip. Second sip, remember it's your second sip.
2 sips.
Not gonna make it to two.
Yeah. Eyebrows raised quite a bit.
Kind of burns. It burnt my lip.
Now get your second one in.
It does taste different the second time.
See? I'm watering a little bit.
Yeah. I taste like the leather of it.
Yeah.
I think.
I'm so proud.
Yeah, it is.
That's just to help anyone who's never tried any of it before and does not know what to expect.
It is high proof. It is. But it's the flavor is there for it being such a high proof. I've had high proofs that are literally just really, really strong.
With
just
no flavor?
To be strong, with no flavor. Yeah, I mean, Bacardi 151, right? Like
Yeah.
we've all had that. It literally just burns your face.
Yeah.
I've had, overproofed white rum from Jamaica.
Yeah.
That was 130 proof. Absolutely zero flavor. Just alcohol.
Yeah.
I've had, supposed to say this on camera.
Don't let them have that ever again.
Yeah.
BT dubs.
Yeah, I'm banned from that one. I've had, let's say, an illegal clear alcohol that rhymes with boom rhyme, from a very good family friend. And I mean, even at almost 200 proof, there's no flavor.
So if you go on a distillery tour, they'll let you try the White Lightning. That's where they before they do anything. It comes up as not it's really close to full percent of alcohol, close to 200, maybe like 190, and you get to taste it. It does not taste like much of anything, but you can get a kind of a hint of what it could become after they barrel it. So really, I mean, when you talk about a distiller, like MGP makes a lot of stuff, and then it goes off to the different not distilleries, but the different what would you call it?
I would say barrel rack, but it's not barrel rack. It's
Well, I mean, they have to put it in the appropriate barrel, and they have to age it a certain way.
Wait. You're forgetting the best part, though.
What's that?
The bunghole.
Okay, so there is a bunghole in the barrels that are white oak charred and then aged, and that's the big cork in them. And so what they do is, you have the bunghole so you can pull that out, and then you can taste it. And
pull
so
out your bunghole.
one of the thing about a master distiller, what they do is, depending on where it is in the rack house, on the outside, on the inside, up high, down low, is it a wooden rack house, a metal rack house, a brick rack house? They all make a difference. Are they climate controlled? That makes all the difference in the world. That's what makes the bourbon the bourbon. But with a rye, it's the same process. But in this particular instance, I'm pretty confident that this was made at MGP in Lawrenceburg, at least has been over historically. And then how they finish it is what you really don't know exactly how they finish it.
A lot of smoke and mirrors and family recipes.
Is what makes it so exceptional.
Yeah. It's very, very good.
So when Sean and Lauren come over to my house, when we drink something like this, I have these shot glasses that are 150 years old. A buddy of mine has since passed, but his dad owned a tavern over in St. Louis that inherited the tavern from his dad. And these are like cowboy shot glasses.
They're old.
And you pour it in there. You don't shoot it though. You just sip it. And let me tell you, it's special. So this is
you
one
really
of my
just
favorite.
get that nostalgic feeling with it. You
Yeah.
know? That's why we're drinking out of Crystal right now because again I'm kind of a snob, but
We're bougie.
Anytime you have a favorite glass or a glass that has some sort of value to it, sentimental, it's always going to be better out of your glass. Let's be honest.
Yeah. So anyway,
what do you think? If we're going to rate, we did not drink this on the rocks. Mike and I are both purists in this that we don't think Willett
That's
Rye.
disrespectful.
It is absolutely disrespectful. You would never put this in a mixed drink. You would never mix this with a sour or a Coke or anything.
What's the average price on a bottle?
Well, it depends on where you get it.
yeah, if you try to buy this offline or online, not offline, online, would probably be around $175, $200, maybe right now. If you can find it at a liquor store, you're gonna pay anywhere between probably $65 and $125. So just depending on where you go.
Yeah.
So the thing is, remember it's a rye, and we're rating it as a rye. So this is just plain old whiskey. Not that it's plain old whiskey, but it's a whiskey. I would rate this, since I've had a lot of the Willets, by the way. I actually have had a 21 and a 23-year-old Willett that wasn't called Willett. It's called Vintage Bourbon, and from a long time ago before they brought back the name Willett. Mm-hmm. And I would give this out of 10. Neat. 9.3. 9.2, 9.3.
Yeah.
Because I've had better, but not a whole lot.
Yeah, I think I'd be right in there. I mean, I'm not one of those people where I'm like, well, nothing's a 10. It's like there absolutely are 10s.
Yeah.
And there's more than one 10. It's not to say that only one liquor is perfect. I've had a lot of stuff that I'm like, this is 10 out of 10, amazing. So yeah, I'd be right in there too. Yeah, 992.
So just because my last name is the same as this company down in Bardstown, doesn't mean I'm that partial to it. I do like a lot of other bourbons and ryes that are just as good as this. So I'm not that partial. I do like the crest though. So.